Hello, everyone. Trust you well and your families. This is Leadership Talk with Adegoke, and I'm privileged to have my friend and my brother, Wale Adekanla, FILCS, Fellow of the Institute of Leadership Coaching and Strategy. That's an institute where we both belong to, and is based in the US. And he just finished the session on scalable leadership in Nigeria and also amazing session. So let me allow him to introduce himself. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you very much, sir. I'm
Good.
glad to be here and to share some thoughts on the subjects we're going to be discussing today, leadership and skilling.
Okay. Awesome. So tell us, who is Wale Adekanla?
Well, sometimes it's very hard for me to talk about myself. I'm Wale Adekanla, simple me, and I'm a leadership consultant. I'm an executive coach, and I have worked with several leaders at different levels, supporting executives, founders, CEOs, in both public, of course, and the private sectors, just helping leaders to move things forward, to scale leadership. Currently, I strongly believe that the new model that we are introducing to the African space, scalable leadership, is what we all need. And that's exactly what I am advocating for. And that's what I stand for. So I believe today that's exactly what we're going to be diving into a scalable leadership framework, which I developed 5 years ago. And
Awesome.
it's,
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. Amazing. Okay, so on this podcast, we're looking at this is Leadership Talk with Adegoke, another episode, and we're looking at leadership and scaling. And yeah, so what is scalable leadership?
Wow, thank you very much. Scalable leadership is pretty much simple, and let me just make it clear before I get into that. Um, to make it simple, I believe that leadership that does not scale dies
Hmm,
when the leader steps out.
hmm,
And that's the crisis we see across sectors in Africa.
hmm,
Scaling leadership basically means you are building something that can live when you stop working.
hmm,
Scaling leadership means you are reproducing yourself.
hmm,
Scaling leadership means you are practically applying the love language. And the love language basically means I am committed to developing others who can carry this vision beyond me.
hmm,
Scaling leadership means I am pouring myself and releasing myself to create systems, create structures that can multiply leaders across the organization or the nation.
hmm.
That's exactly what it means to scale leadership. This is an intentional heart. It doesn't happen by accident. I usually tell people that growth can happen by accident,
Hmm.
but scaling cannot happen by accident. It
Awesome.
must be created intentionally.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so what's the difference between, leadership and scalable leadership? I,
Thank you very much for that. John Maxwell said, everything rises and falls on leadership.
hmm,
And I strongly believe that. And when he said that, what he's really talking about that most people don't understand is scalable leadership.
wow.
Now, these are my own discoveries. If we study carefully and sit down carefully to study, for example, the 5 levels of leadership written by John Maxwell,
Hmm.
the first level, it talks about position.
Hmm.
Then the second level, it focuses on permission. Now,
Okay.
let me quickly talk about the second level because at the first level, everything is about position. Okay. You've been hired, you've been appointed. Now you have a position. So people follow you at that level because they have to.
Hmm.
Now, second level is the permission level,
Hmm.
according to the five levels.
That's
Now,
right.
there, people follow you because they want to.
Hmm.
Now, you have developed yourself to a level whereby you are not just there, as a title carrier, you
Okay.
are there influencing and inspiring people, and you have touched the hearts of the people, and people then start following you because they want to. So it is not about your position anymore.
Hmm.
It's about who you are and what you represent.
Okay.
So scalable leadership, in short, is all about you becoming a leadership practitioner.
Hmm.
So many times we call people leaders, they are leaders. And unfortunately, through my discoveries working with top leaders in different nations, I've discovered that most people we call leaders are not truly leaders.
Wow.
So when we're talking about scalable leadership, one thing is to start leading yourself, which
Hmm.
of which of course is the first level in the framework I'll be talking about. The second level, which is very critical here,
Hmm.
and looking at what Maxwell also said at the second level of his framework, people follow you because they want to. At that level, that means you are intentionally leading people
Okay.
through your own personal leadership. And that's what it truly means to become a scalable leader, not
Awesome.
just one who is just leading activities or managing things, but now you are leading people and then influencing people to reproduce leaders.
Okay. I know there are different areas you talk about leadership in Africa, but I just want us to bring it down even to use an example of an entrepreneur. How can I scale my leadership as an entrepreneur?
Fantastic, great question. So let me start that. Let me start answering that question using some case studies here. Um, let's think about Nigeria's public sector. Okay, I'm
Okay.
going to I'm going to answer that, but I think it's important to kind of give us these brief examples. Over 60% of reforms collapse when administrations change because they were not built because they were built, rather, let me put it that way, around individuals, not
Okay.
systems.
Okay.
The same thing I just said now happens in the private sector.
Yes.
Most entrepreneurs, when they start the business, of course, that is a fantastic thing, and we're advocating for more people to start businesses. When someone starts a business, that is the first level. I call that level the explorer level.
Okay.
Here at this level, what you're doing, you are exploring, you're testing your idea, you are testing your product or your services to solve problems and to add value to our ecosystem.
Hmm.
Now, the second level is the growth level.
Okay.
Now, the growth level, at this level, now you start creating processes and systems that
Hmm.
can help you to make things easier. Because right now, you don't just want the business to be a business that you only is just functioning in. You want to start creating processes because at this level, you need to start bringing in people, hiring people, at
System and
least
structure.
some
Yes.
few people who can help you to make your leadership simple. Now, if I want to move to the third level, which is the scale level, I have all these seven levels written in my new book, Lead and Scale, that will be released in September. But let
Awesome.
me just stop at the scale level. The skill level is the level where you start building teams. And this is the reason why most businesses in Africa, most entrepreneurs don't build beyond themselves. This is where they eat the ceiling. They don't know what to do. It is possible for you to be profitable. You're getting some income, you're getting some money, without building systems and structures that
Okay.
can actually stand without you.
Okay.
Becoming a scalable leader as an entrepreneur, you have to think about this one statement that I'm about to make.
Hmm.
It is not about you, it's about the asset that you are building.
Okay.
It goes beyond you becoming the asset.
All
It's
right.
building something that can become the asset, and that is the business.
Awesome.
So we have to transition from building everything on personalities and
Hmm.
then moving into building systems
All right.
that can live without us.
Amazing. Amazing. All right. So now that's for an entrepreneur. What if I'm an employee? How can I scale my leadership?
So to scale my leadership or to scale your leadership, let me just be direct for employees. Everybody starts from the first level, everyone.
Hmm.
In the scalable leadership framework, the first level is lead yourself. And that's where everybody starts from.
Okay.
Okay. So practically, let's just look at it this way. The first level is you cannot lead and equip others if you are not leading and equipping yourself.
Hmm.
So let's say you are a tech person, okay, an engineer working in a team as an individual contributor. You have the responsibility to lead yourself. And that is why this first level is very critical.
All right.
And what are we really talking about at this level? This is where leadership starts. It starts with self-awareness, it starts with self-discipline, it starts with self-commitment. I mean, as you can see, everything starts with self, right? Self-awareness,
Self-reliance. Yeah.
self-discipline, self-commitment to personal mastery.
Hmm.
Okay.
Self-management. Yeah.
Yes. So there are some tools that are very critical here because this first level has some mindsets and also some tool set and some skill set that are very critical. So let me talk about the tool sets. And of course, some of the skill sets that anyone at this level must develop because you have to be intentional. Nobody gets to the top of the mountain by accident and then asking, how did I get here?
Yeah.
Right? So it
Yeah.
takes a process.
Yeah.
And so the first one here is self-awareness. You need to be aware of who you are.
Hmm.
Most people don't know themselves. They don't know their weaknesses. They don't know their strengths. They
Yeah.
don't know what they are capable of,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then number two, you need to have your personal growth plan, PGP,
Hmm.
your personal growth plan. What are your plans? What are the growth plans that you have? Growth doesn't just happen by accident. You need to plan for it.
Hmm.
For example, for me, I read 2 books minimum every month.
Wow.
My wife knows that. So whenever we are planning for the month, she thinks about what are the books for the month, right?
Wow. Oh.
Because that's my own personal growth plan,
Hmm.
right? That's one of them. Okay. Number three, which is very critical, is what I call the psychology of personality development.
Wow.
You need to know your temperament. You need to understand your own domain in life. And,
Hmm.
and that's very critical. So if you're working in a team, there are 4 types of people in every team, and you need to know where you belong.
Hmm.
You must go through your own test to know your own personality test, your own,
I know.
behavior.
It's quite extensive. I know because
Exactly. Yeah.
but
You
for the
see,
purpose of this session, I want us to now, you know, take it into um, your last conference that you had, on scalable leadership, very successful. Tell us about that, just to put it in context. We just want to hear the good news. Yeah, because I was quite encouraged by the turnout. Yeah, tell us.
wow, thank you very much for that. It was a successful summit,
Okay.
1.0 Scalable Leadership Summit, and of course, this is the beginning of this wonderful thing that we've started experiencing in Africa. Um, People who came for this conference,
Where was it held? Where was it held?
Lagos, of course, Lagos in Nigeria.
Okay.
Uh, Fantastic event. We had it at a Marriott Hotel,
Okay.
and most people who came for this conference, both in the private sector and the public sector, are already, sharing the testimonials and some of the things they're going to be applying in their organizations. Now, we had some powerful, keynote speakers who also came in to support us because for them, they thought this is different.
Hmm.
This is fresh.
Hmm.
right? We've been talking about leadership. Many times we'll be hearing leadership, leadership. I mean, just like the same question you asked me when we started, the difference between leadership and scalable leadership.
Yeah.
So the same thing happened. Everybody was wowed, like this is different. What is the meaning of scalable leadership? What does it mean to scale trust?
Hmm.
What does it mean to scale responsibilities?
Hmm.
What does it mean to scale leadership culture?
Hmm.
What does it mean to standardize leadership development in institutions and
Wow.
organizations? What
Wow.
does it mean to make leadership a normal thing in a nation?
Hmm.
So, for example, one of the case studies that I share with people, of course, many of us, we've heard about this when Rwanda began its post-genocide transformation.
Yeah.
Then Paul Kagame implemented leadership development programs across all levels of government,
Wow.
starting from personal responsibilities, community responsibilities, group responsibilities, national responsibilities. That is level one in action.
Yeah, because I was in Rwanda last year and I saw the amazing work that had been
Mm,
done. Went to different locations. I could
mm,
see that in terms of, even driving the traction in terms of Africa, they're
mhm.
now number two on the Chandler Good Governance, index. So security is very important for them. It has now become a hub. Even for business in Africa. Yeah. So I'm just trying to concur with you concerning the kind of leadership strategy that they have, which is scalable in Rwanda.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So
It-
going forward, when
okay.
is going to be the next edition of this your scalable leadership? Uh,
Fantastic. Thank you very much. We're going to make the announcement next week.
okay.
Next one is going to happen in Lagos, of course, the 2.0, and this is going to be in August next year. But the exact date is
2026.
going to be
Okay.
announced, 2026, yes. But the exact date is going to be announced.
Oh,
We had the last one on a Saturday. Through some of the feedbacks that we've received, we're already considering having the 2.0 on a weekday, probably on a Thursday. But the final date will be announced next week. So watch
awesome.
out, everyone.
Awesome. So for our viewers and listeners all over the world, if they want to reach you, how do they reach you?
They can just visit waleadekanla.com. Waleadekanla.com, my full name. They can as well reach the leadershipchannel.org.
Okay.
Uh, the leadership the leadershipchannel.org. And I want to encourage you to continue to visit our summit website, scalableleadershipsummit.com.
All right. Amazing. Amazing. So as we wrap up, what would you like to say, in 1 minute, to whether it's government, it's private sector, it's individuals, just say something, that you feel, so strongly about, to share in 1 minute. So as we wrap up.
Okay, let me just quickly share this. I believe that it's important for us to know why we do what we do,
Yeah.
why this matters, why scalable leadership is important, especially in Africa and across the world. In Africa today, over 40% of public projects are abandoned
Hmm.
after 3 years. In the private sector, 70% of startups, just like what you said, failed within 3 to 5 years.
Hmm. Amazing.
Not because the product isn't good, but because the leadership isn't scalable.
Wow.
If you want to build institutions that last, whether it's a ministry, in the bank, and businesses, and the church, in schools, we need scalable leadership.
Hmm.
And I'm going to give you just 4 steps that you need to follow. Real quick. This is the framework, and the framework is summarized in this way. Move from personal driven leadership to system driven institutions. Number
Okay.
two, multiply trust across the teams.
Okay.
Because right now, most people don't trust people we call leaders in Africa.
All right. Three.
Develop successors, not just followers. And
Awesome.
number four, shift from managing people to managing growth sustainably.
Thank you
If
so much. That's
That framework, you will scale leadership at
Thank
all
you so much.
levels.
Thank you so much. You've heard from the man, Wale Adekanla, the leadership guru and scalable leadership expert. I'm so privileged to, share the platform with you. And I have no doubt that our listeners and viewers all over the world will gain a lot of content and a lot of value from this session. So I look forward to having another session with you as usual. Uh, it might not be scalable leadership, but I know it definitely will be on leadership. So it's been amazing, and I'm so blessed to have the privilege of sharing the platform with you. And once again, uh, congratulations on the outcome of your scalable leadership summit. And we're looking forward to the 2.0 in the year 2026.